Alright, I'm just going to start out by saying that this is just a really basic quick sketch that I didn't overly try in, and that I was just using for example for a lot of people that don't know how I draw and want to know how I draw my Minecraft characters. So this is just a video kind of showing how I go through that and all this. So, right now I'm just adjusting the screen because I realized I couldn't fix the stabilizer on Paint's eye. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna go through some things that how I draw my Minecraft characters, and by all means, don't follow this too exact, but I just want to give my tips on how I do it, and maybe some people would find useful. So I just start off by drawing a three-dimensional square, and I always try to make it like at least proportions. So I found it was too thin. Even for that, I can see that now looking back on it that the side there curves down, like is at an angle for the back there, and I don't agree with that. Next I start drawing the body, and usually I make the body just like a little bit thinner than the head, because that's just how Minecraft characters are. I also noticed at the bottom, like I said, I wasn't trying really hard for this. This was, for example, for Neon Rush, I think his name is, off the top of my head. And you're gonna see me struggle so hard with this hand. I could not get it right, like, and I still don't like how the finalized thing turned out, but just a basic example of how I do things. I was just trying to think of a pose, and the pose wasn't the best for doing this example either. I noticed that, like, if you thought about how that actually would be in real life, your arm would not, you would not, like, put your hand behind your head, which was the pose I was trying to go for. You would not put your arm out so far to wrap around the head. You would put it close to you, and I don't know why I could not draw that, but the circles just kept coming out really close together because I don't know. I just did not do a good perspective on this. But I still always try to keep the perspective of the arms and stuff in like the square of the arms. At first I was going from the body to the head, and then sometimes if that doesn't work, I just end up going from the other side of it, and I went from the head to the body. Which worked out a little bit better, but, and then I just started drawing. Sometimes I get really distracted when I draw. I end up drawing the, it's like just go to a different piece of the body overall, and start drawing that, and that was the hood of his character. And how I draw heads too is that I draw the square, and then I draw everything on top of it, and later on get rid of the lines, that the guidelines basically. I struggled with his eyes a bit too, and I don't know, I was just struggling really hard with this. But yeah, I just, trying to get it so that the one eye is bigger than the other, just because that's how perspective would be. And in the end, there, that was better. I didn't mind that one as much. His face is a little bit longer, which it shouldn't have been, but that's me trying to fix up the body a bit too, realizing I still don't like that arm at all. But usually I draw hands on my characters, if some people have noticed. I usually draw out the arm, and then I connect the, I guess the inner line, usually like the midst line, with the thumb, and that's how I usually draw the hands. Like I said, that's an example of a distraction. He really wanted me to try to draw the design of his sweater, which I don't really like drawing exact designs, like complex pixel designs onto Minecraft characters. I usually just go my own route and what I think it would look like close enough to. And even if you look at his skin, you can see that it's not exact, but this is what I was doing. At first I just drew the little lines, and then I was like, well, then I'd have to draw the little lines under it too, so, just use a thicker brush, and then just draw it. That way you're not, you're getting the, so without having to draw extra, I guess. I'm just lazy, whatever. So that was that. Also, I was trying to make it perspective-wise. That is the phone. Perspective-wise. Because it wouldn't go straight across. You'd always have it at a slant and stuff. And if the phone could stop, that'd be great. But phone, please. Then I just start going into the legs. The legs are my favorite to draw. They weren't on this. Just I chose such a bad pose. Bad pose. I didn't know. I decided to make him sitting down in the end. Against a tree, which I just, like I said, don't. If you cannot draw something and you want to turn out really well, don't draw something out of your limit. What else? Yeah, it's just me just drawing little details on a tree. I was not drawing, but I was relying on my comments to kind of get the better idea of this. The leg here is really just no. I could have done better on this, but perspective. Like if you looked at a rectangle from the side, how would it look? I should have put his leg up a little bit more on that. I brought that down and that helped a little. This is me darkening lines because once you sketch, you actually can lose track of like your actual lines, but that's why it helped go over in dark. That was me just scribbling on the side there of the decoration design of a shirt. This leg was like the arm earlier. And just looking at this just makes me ache. Like if I actually took the time to actually do this better, or when you go over it in the line art, which I didn't do in this video, it helps to draw new lines where you prefer it to go because you'd be drawing in a darker color and a darker color, darker lines. So you'd be able to see better where it should go or what you want it to go to for the lines and the design. That's why I recommend tablets, because tablets give a certain pressure in their pens. Like you can see I'm pressing hard and it gives that pressure rather than having to switch like Neon said that, he could use an iPad and you could switch the line thickness, but you'd always have that consistent line that you don't have, like you can't, it's using a tablet on the computer is like using a pencil and paper. So that's what I recommend. That leg is so bad. Oh god. It's so painful. The perspective isn't that great. I should have put an inner line in there, and it's just don't follow that. That's looking at that now is just terrible. I was fixing up the arm here because I realized that if I did do the hand where it would have been really short. I also didn't put a very good curve in this arm. So these are just things that I notice now that I'm saying you could correct if you want to do something like this. What else? Like I said, I draw the thumb attached to like usually the middle line. I don't know what you want to take from that, but like if there's 3 lines there, it'd be the middle one in there. And I just draw the fingers really blocky. I drew this kind of really cartoony too. That's just how I draw hands. I actually don't mind that hand that much. The hand is a little long, the arm is a little too long for the body now, and that leg is a little short. The outer leg isn't, but the farther back one is. Just darkening in lines again. I tried to fix up the arm there to be thicker. That was me adding some like a fabric fold in your stomach, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna highlight some things that I could have done better, and then that'll be the end of the video. But the hand could have been done better. That for sure could have been better. The whole pose of the leg and the like, I know you're leaning against it, but it could have been better. It wasn't as bad. I don't mind the left side so much as the right side.